Hi guys, it's Joker from Guard. Over the weekend I was at the Bushido event with Rinku and a whole bunch of people, including Kai. I tried the clan leader event twice, once on Saturday and another on Sunday. And, well, I actually got it on Sunday, and I'm the clan leader for Dark Irregulars. Yay me, I guess. As you well know that the clan leader test is actually pretty difficult. I'm sorry I say a lot. I guess it's become my catchphrase, so it's just how I am now. Every time I do a video, I unconsciously say So if you're watching, don't forget to do hashtag I guess, in the comments to let me know that you've watched the video, alright? So, we'll start with the deck profile, shall we? We'll start with the strides. I run 5G Guardians. One is the Agrabat. This helps with my plays with my stand trigger, my Werecat Stair trigger. Especially when I'm at GB already, I can just easily put 2 in a soul, then I get +5, and then I get another +5 upon my stand trigger for the shield and or attack. Then I play 1 Vincent. My build is kind of awkward with my G-Guards, but I'll explain why. Not Vincent. Saint Germain is a very good card for my deck, especially with how quickly I accelerate my soul. It's just really good, especially when you have to deal with a flaming chicken and you can pretty much give cards resist. Flaming chicken aside, it's very good. It gives me 10 and resist. I play 1 Druid Nasu. Early game G-Guard if you go first, and you can't stride, but you can use her skill to put 1 into your soul, draw, and get plus 10k if you have 8 or more in soul. Simple enough. I play 2 Vincents. Most people don't expect Vincent to be at 2. My reason for this is because I don't have the newer triggers yet and newer defense cards. So if my soul is like almost 25 or more, I can double that with both him by playing 2 of them. So that's my reason behind that. Normally I go into him first if I already strode, get rid of these 2. They just are there just in case I need to go into double him. One Dust, self-explanatory. Out of both days, I didn't run into Dust as much. I would like to have used him, but I never got to. The matches ended before I could even use him, because double battle really hurts people, apparently. 1 Seabreeze. I don't use it very often as I used to, so it's just a card to use just in case. 2 Gildareus. I use him right after I run out of Balams. So he's pretty helpful, and he has guard restrict if I remember. I very rarely use him, but not being able to call grade 1s for him, and he gets a crit, is pretty broken in my book. So he gets plus attack and crit, and he gives pretty much what my deck likes, guard restriction. That's why I play him. 1 Seepinson Shot. I didn't really go into him as much. To tell you the truth, I didn't go into him at all. I'm so glad that my clan card actually has him on it instead of, say, Blade Wing or something. Because it wouldn't make sense that I'm a Charlotte player and having a Blade Wing clan card. So I'm very glad about that. But he has guard restrict, so he helps a lot if I run out of anything with guard restrict. Bread Damas, obviously you play him at 2. Well, some people play him at 4, but I only play him at 2 because I barely go into him. So if I go into him, I have like almost all my triggers in there and hardly any deck. So obviously I'm going to push them all back. And most of the time I'm going to literally crit, stand, or something. So that's the only reason why he's in the deck at 2. Then we have the main stride of the deck that most people can't deal with. And that is Balam. He is at 4. I went against someone with a Link Joker deck that I usually lose against. And on my first stride, I did Balam. And I had a Repressor on the field. And it was my first stride. So I wasn't expecting to crit the dude out of the game. So it was literally crit, stand, crit. So it was 4 damage to his already 2 damage. So this card won me that match. It's just really broken in general. Especially when you're going against cards that are newer and you can just pretty much eat them. Those who have played against me know when I say I play Balam and I use his effect, I will eat your card, but I also will explain that I just gain the power and it retires and I get 4 drive. So that's my little lingo for him. So I enjoy saying eat instead of anything else. To start off with the main deck, we have, I only run 7 grade 3s. 4 of the new Charat, well, technically he's old now, but I can't keep this up. 4 of the new Charat, I enjoy his end turn skill more than anything else, because it gets rid of another card on the field, and I get to countercharge, I think. Counterblast, Soul Blast, I don't remember. Well, it flips up a damage. And his other skill, you Soul Charge too and get 1 back. So, it's just a normal thing that I've gotten used to with him. Sometimes, once in a while, I forget about a skill, but that's only when playtesting with him. It's just kind of weird that I do that sometimes. I play 2 of the Scatter Sin Charat. I prefer him on the rear guards than the vanguard. Whenever he's on the vanguard, it just spells destruction for me, pretty much. He has guard restrict and he gets +5. That's about it. If I run into him instead of the good Charat, I try to figure out a way to get to my good one instead of the bad one. Don't get me wrong, he's not a bad card. It's just that he's not for Vanguard, only for Rearguard. Last but not least, the MVP of both days is Glenzon Vampire. Every single time I went into him, he actually has done so much work that I feel like I should run him at more, but I actually don't, because I don't see myself running into him as often as I do with these 2 cards. Every time that I do run into him, he's either put into the soul or I have in my hand right at the beginning. So if he's already on my Vanguard, I flip a damage down and look at the top 5 cards, put all cards with darkness into the soul and put the rest on the bottom. But every time I would use his ability, I would have all 5 cards with darkness and they just go right in. Especially when he's on my Vanguard, he just helps. So he's just there until I can just ride over him with that and then get him back to help me further my soul charge. So that's it for the grade 3s. My grade 2s are 4 Demented Executioner. He helps with my accelerated soul charging and such. And plus, I get to shuffle after I use him, which means I can easily use the combo of him and Jealousy. They work so well together, especially when I need my soul as quick as possible. I usually soul charge Were-Tiger Jaegers and everything I would need before I would have to go to Stride. So that's why I play him. I never use his act skill though. I see it as no point to do it. So that's why I don't really use his act. I always use his auto. Then we have 4 Jealousy Succubuses. Same combination with him. If you get Jaeger, you can get draw. You're not technically losing anything. You're plussing 1 with either of them. And her continuous darkness, GB1, it helps, but it's not as strong as it can be. So I hardly ever use her when I'm actually in Stride base. Only if I run out of soul. That's about it. But very good early game. Last but not least, the true hero of the any Dark Irregulars deck is Baleful Repressor. He has guard restrict and he gets plus 10k. So I enjoy messing with people a lot with my guard restrict. So that's why I play him. And he gets really big if you have the Were-Tiger Plunderer behind him. You get like almost 20k from Plunderer on top of his original. And this is 19. So they're going to have a lot to guard with. So that's why I chose him as well. For the grade 1s, I play 3 Were-Tiger Plunderer. He deals with Sharat and his darkness. He's not a GB skill though. Thank God for that. He gets 1,000 for every card of my soul. So if you have, say, almost 25 cards, he's getting plus 25 on top of his 27. Top of 7. He can help create big numbers to counteract what I don't currently have without the new triggers. So once the new triggers happen, he still is going to be in the deck, but he's going to be useful but not as useful. I run 6 Stride Enablers, 2 Succubus of Pure Love, help me find a Sharat, obviously, and 4 Were-Tiger Jaeger. Jaeger is broken in general, but his drawback is if you don't run a lot of cards with darkness, he doesn't really help. Because you can't really use him for a Stride Enabler. But if he's soul charged because of the card effect, or put into soul for any means, I should say, you can flip down 1 and draw 1. Really good. The reason why I run 6 is because my deck only runs 7 grade 3s. And sometimes I have a hard time finding the right card, or I don't have enough cards in my hand to stride with. I don't like doing poor man stride very often, so I run 6. Well, 6. I remember times when I had to use poor man stride. I had to basically get rid of 3 grade 1s or whatever, 3 PGs. It was horrible. So this is the most comfortable way for my Stride Enablers. Thank God there's no limit on Stride Enablers. But when I play with either of them, I see Jaegers more going to the soul than they are in my hand. But either way, I get them back because of the grade 3 Sharat. I play 1 White Fang Wielder. White Fang is one of my techie cards I like to use. I've been playing him since he came out. Get him with Sharat, obviously. Put him on the field. If I have 20 or more, put different grades in, and he gives plus 6k to 5 units on the field. I don't like riding into him, but if I do ride into him, it's not a neg for me. It's eventually a plus, how I see it. It's better to sacrifice 1 or 2 damage than to sacrifice almost your whole hand to guard. Last but not least is the PG's Closet Balloon. I prefer Closet Balloon over the newer PG. I can't remember the name for her. She deals with darkness. If your Vanguard doesn't have darkness, she can't be used, so I prefer Closet Balloon. He also allows you to draw if there's another one in your soul and there's 10 or more, so he's very helpful with me keeping my hand up. Finally, we have the grade zeros. My starter is actually deranged. He's not as detrimental to the deck as people think they are for me. I get draw. Yes, thank you. That I love my draw, and he puts all the other cards that are grade 1 or higher into the soul. That's very helpful. But the thing is, I count on the draw more than anything, but either way, if I don't get the draw, it doesn't bother me. He's there for darkness mostly, to help me early game. That's the only reason why he's there for now. I will not be switching him out when the new triggers come out, or anything. He does help me a lot, now that I think about it. Most people get rid of him, obviously, because they apparently see him as a threat. I don't. He's more of a friendly helper, to say the least. I run 4 of the Amon heal triggers. Obviously, it's good if you need the damage being flipped up or a soul charge. So, helps with the Where Cat stand trigger. So, there's that. Other than that, I don't really care much for her. I will be replacing her with the new heal triggers. We have 4 of the Dark Knight Nightmare crit. I only play 4 crits in the whole deck. He will be actually eventually replaced by better cards. Obviously by the newer crit trigger. The guy that I faced with the Link Joker deck, I don't think he expected me to savage him in the game, but I felt kind of bad. I felt like I shouldn't have won on my first stride. I felt like it could have gone longer, but I beat him, sadly, because I used 1 crit for guard, and I didn't think I had any crits left on the deck, because I thought I soul charged them all, but I ended up having 3 still in the deck. So, this card does surprise me sometimes, but not all the time. A staple for any Dark Irregulars deck, that was weird, is Monochrome Cat. Monochrome will be staying in my deck once the new triggers come out. So, even when I take out everything else, they're staying in. I do not care. I will fight tooth and nail against anyone who says I should take out Monochrome Cat. He has saved my ass way more times than I can even imagine right now. Especially when flipping on my damage and giving me soul. So, that's why I play him at 4. Last but not least is the Werecats. If one's upside down. I love that he can get shield and attack. Especially when you're at GB8 and darkness. Well, not GB8, GB1. Excuse me. I am very tired. I was thinking about keeping him in as well, because the new stuff that's coming out, we don't have stand triggers. And stand triggers are detrimental for this deck to keep running the way it does. I think that's about it. Some of my combos are really weird, but if you've seen me play my Charlotte deck, you would understand that my way of thinking is not the way people would think that it should be. But most of the time I run running to only playing these twice, so most people just lose after the second one or the first one. But a big shout out to Kai for being there, and for everyone at the Bushiroad staff as well for giving me this honor of being a clan leader for Dark Irregulars. So, don't forget to leave that like and subscribe to our channel. Have a great day, guys!